I always feel a sense of accomplishment when I make my own pickles at home. And I'm going to do a version of my Gran's Zucchini Pickles. They are to die for. Now usually these would have been chopped up, but I've decided to keep them into rounds because I really love the texture of them. This is about 1 kilogram of zucchini, and I've placed them into a bowl with lots of salt and just allowed them to sit for an hour. You can see how much liquid is extracted from our zucchini. So we're going to drain that off now. So just in a colander, we'll pour them in, and that salt has done its job. So just while they're draining off, let's get our sugar syrup ready to go. So in a large pot, we'll turn the heat on quite high at this stage. We're going to add some caster sugar along with some white vinegar. Give it a swirl and just mix all that sugar in with the vinegar. Now, while we're waiting for that to come up to the boil, let's slice an onion. So just one brown onion, and just really thinly slice this. And that can go into the sugar and vinegar. And for our zucchini, that's been strained off. I also want to pat them dry just to remove any excess salt. We don't want them to be too salty. So just into a clean tea towel. So pat them dry, squeeze out that water and excess salt, and then these can also go in with our onions. Now this is going to cook for about 10 minutes just to soften, and we want them to take on the flavour of the sugar and that vinegar. I will also give that a stir just so it's completely coated. Now Gran's secret spice mix, a combination of turmeric, ground ginger and curry powder. And this is added to some corn flour. Now the corn flour is going to give us a really nice thick sauce, so that's why I add that, and that's why Gran would add that. So in with the ginger and a teaspoon of any curry powder of your choice. So we'll stir that up. Now I need to make this into a paste, so I'm just going to remove some of this sugar and vinegar, about a tablespoon or so, straight in, just a little more, and then mix this up and you'll see a paste form. Whenever you are using corn flour, you do want to mix it with some liquid so it doesn't clump as we add it to our mixture. Excellent. We'll pop that to one side and we'll just wait for those zucchinis to continue cooking. Now I'm going to serve this with some lentils and sausages. It goes so well together. So good old school pork sausages. These have a bit of chili and fennel through them. And then the lentils. Pui lentils are my preference. They hold their shape, they don't break up, and they're super easy to cook. Into a pot with one bay leaf, and you can see their gorgeous bluey green colour. I just love them. We want to add a good amount of water to cover them, and this needs to come to the boil. Once it's come up to the boil, I turn it down and gently simmer them for about 20 minutes until they're just tender. Now these have cooked down. You can see how the colour has changed with the zucchini. We can add our paste into the zucchini, and we'll add that in. And just with a wooden spoon, I'm going to mix and just fold that through. Now I'm going to turn this down just to a medium to low heat and let this cook away for about 10 to 15 minutes, or until the zucchini break down a little more. Okay, these pickles are cooked. I'm just going to allow them to cool, and we can get on to cooking our sausages. Medium heat, and then on they go. Perfectly grilled sausages so we can plate up. Lentils are tender. You may have noticed that I haven't salted my lentils yet, and because it's a legume, you always want to leave the seasoning till last. If you put it in straight away, we won't get that creamy result. They'll actually be quite tough. So season once they're cooked. A generous pinch of salt with our lentils. You really extract the flavour out of them once you've seasoned them. We'll give that a stir through, and we can plate up. I just love lentils. They're so good. And they're nice when they're served warm like this with sausages. In fact, sausages and lentils is a very French thing. So we're mixing what my mum would do and what my grandmother would do also. So it's a real family recipe, this one. 2 sausages and our beautiful pickles. A spoonful of pickles over the top. Pop that over there. And always when I serve my lentils, a drizzle of olive oil just to make them shine. Now the rest of these pickles, the best way to store them is in a sterilised jar, just like this one. We'll scoop them up, and while they're still hot, that's when you start to place them into the jar, pack it down, go, and seal it. And that'll last for weeks and weeks, if that, in the fridge. Grant's pickles, they're a winner. Sausages and lentils with them, a really inexpensive but delicious dinner.